But hydration, nutrition, and sleep matter way more than you think.
As Dan
Preach.
mentioned, I am a board certified flight paramedic, right? And allow the skies to open, right, and the halo to fall. And a younger me was sitting in a flight paramedic board certification review course. Crash course, here's what you need to succeed in this exam. And this gentleman, at the time I was in my 20s, so as I'm much closer to the age I'm going to make fun of now, I'll do some with much more compassion. But this gentleman in his mid 40s said, flying in a helicopter is hard, and if you don't eat and you don't stay hydrated, it's going to be way harder. And my buddy and I, again, two 20-something whippersnappers, feet on the desk, right? The pinnacle of disrespect can be
Slamming
like,
energy
well,
drinks.
exactly right. Yeah, sipping our bang out of a twirly straw, right? We're like, what is, yeah, maybe for him, right? Not for me. We often think that they're the first three things we can get rid of, right? I don't need to stay hydrated, especially if I'm posting because I don't want to have to pee all the time. Nutrition is a joke, right? I can have extra fries if I want to, and I'll sleep when I'm dead, right? Those are routinely the three things that we put in the forget it bucket. When I come to you on the crisis side of the coin, so we just talked about that fictional individual who had this really bad call, and they come to me on the peer support and critical incident side of the coin. I joke that I'm an IT specialist. Like, have we turned ourselves off and turned ourselves back on again? Are you hydrated? Have you eaten something? And have you slept? Because as Dan knows, because he's very physiologically sound, and as some of your students and listeners may be putting together as they hear this, right, that is the parasympathetic counterpunch to the sympathetic surge that you have going on, right? Hostage negotiators use this. Good businessmen use this. When things get hostile, we surround around food. I can't stay in a sympathetic surge if I'm trying to digest food. I also give you the caveat that in crisis, your nutrition isn't as important as it is other times. So in crisis, the quantity of the calories matter more than their quality. So Reese's peanut butter cup or salad, have the peanut butter cup. This will all start to spool down the sympathetic surge that you're having. Staying hydrated helps keep our brain hydrated, helps allow that reprocessing that we just mentioned with EMDR to occur without the benefit of EMDR. And sleep is the mother of all cognitive reprocessing. That is when, for the tech savvy in the world, we allow our computer to defrag, right? We allow our computer to start to reprocess and put all of the different chunks of memory where it's supposed to go. The caveat here is if you've acquired said sleep with a fifth of Jack Daniels, you're not going to get good REM sleep. So we ask you to hydrate with non-alcoholic, non-caffeinated beverages and encourage good sleep as a 1-2 punch to allow that reprocessing and de-stressing to occur. They are pinnacles of your care, not three things that we can let go by the wayside, and should be the three things that you are consistently looking to reacquire after every call. The EMS folks that get mad at me when I make fun of pizza parties, take the money you're going to spend on a pizza party and buy your employees a decent Yeti or Stanley or whatever. I'm not, endorsed by anybody. Buy them like a decent reusable water bottle and give them a space, a bubbler, what have you, to refill that water bottle. If you want to give your employees something, a way for them to constantly stay appropriately hydrated is an easy first step. We won't talk a ton about nutrition on here, but be cognizant of what you're eating, right? If every meal you have comes out of a drive-through window, we'll have to make some adjustments relative to your individual habitus and eating style and everything else. And man, if it's less than 6 hours, it's not sleep. We pride ourselves on this. Dan has a picture of me somewhere from a straight 37-hour something out of Kennebunk Fire Rescue that he used for this, picture of exhaustion in EMS. You have to sleep. And if you cannot sleep, you need to rest. And the very interesting scientific side of the coin is forever we've preached 6 to 8 hours of sleep is what it has to be. What we're now starting to realize is for the cognitive space, rest can be just as valuable. Dan and I will talk a little bit more about this in a second, but if you're doom scrolling Instagram and you're mad at everything and you're arguing with posts and this and that, what if we just switched gears? What if we just shut our phone off for 15, 20 minutes? We can't sleep. That's unrealistic. I'm at work, what have you. What if we just put our feet up and closed our eyes for 5 minutes? Did a really simple breathing exercise for 90 seconds. This idea of allowing ourselves to rest when we can't sleep shows the same cognitive reprocessing and cognitive benefit as sleep. So it's an excellent stopgap when everyone that's listening to your podcast is laughing hysterically because two very well practiced individuals in the EMS space are talking about the importance of 8 hours of sleep, which I myself haven't been able to obtain in a couple days. So I mitigate that with rest.